Number 1. The Kalkatoroi. The Kalkatoroi are fire-breathing bulls with bronze hooves and bronze mouths. Their bodies gleam like polished armor, every surface shines with metallic brilliance. Their hooves strike sparks against stone with each step. These creatures exhale flames hot enough to scorch anything in their path. Fire bursts from their nostrils in searing blasts. When they charge, they leave scorched earth behind them. Their bellows sound like metal grinding against metal. Their strength is also superhuman, or super bullish, I should say. A single Kalkatoroi can pull a plow through virgin soil that would break normal oxen. They never tire, nor do they ever slow down. Their bronze bodies make them terrifyingly difficult to face with any ordinary weapons, too. In Greek mythology, Jason is ordered to yoke 2 Kalkatoroi to plow. The beasts resist violently. They surge toward him with flames streaming. He survives only through Medea's supernatural aid. She provides a special ointment that protects him from their fire. Even then, controlling them requires immense strength and willpower. When finally harnessed, they plow an entire field in a single day. The earth smokes in their wake. The furrows they cut are perfectly straight despite their wild and unnatural power. But not every impossible creature overwhelms through strength. Some reshape reality simply by moving through it. Number 2. Ratatoskr. This mischievous squirrel races up and down Yggdrasil, the world tree that holds all of Norse existence together. The tree stretches from the depths of the underworld to the heights of the heavens, and Ratatoskr traverses its vast length constantly without rest. Its primary function is delivering insults between two enemies who can never meet. At the tree's roots lives Niohogor, a dragon gnawing at the base. At the crown perches an eagle who watches from above. The squirrel carries messages between them. The journeys themselves seem impossible, but the squirrel scurries across branches that span entire realms, moving along a trunk that connects worlds to cross distances no ordinary creature could endure. The Prosa Edda describes Ratatoskr as a bearer of slander, carrying spiteful words between the eagle and Niohogor. The squirrel provokes both sides, sustaining an ancient hostility at the heart of Yggdrasil. Even something as small as a squirrel becomes part of the cosmic tension that defines Norse myth. And while some creatures travel between worlds, others break the rules of form itself. Number 3. Puka. Puka is a shapeshifter that appears most commonly as a massive black horse with blazing yellow eyes. But the form is never fixed. It can become a goat, a rabbit, a dog, or even a human figure. The transformation happens in an instant with no warning. When it takes horse form, it approaches travelers on lonely roads at night. It seems rideable, just this random horse. People mount it thinking they've found help. Then it bolts. The ride becomes a nightmare gallop across impossible terrains. It leaps across cliffs, charges through rivers, and races across mountaintops. The rider can't dismount and is held fast until the puka decides to stop. Some riders end with the traveler dumped in a ditch at dawn, terrified but alive. Others are carried far beyond familiar roads and just abandoned there. In some tales, the puka speaks with a human voice, delivering warnings or unsettling prophecies. Folklore often links the puka to Samhain, when the boundary between worlds grows thin. Some traditions say it becomes calmer on that night, but for the rest of the year, it remains wild and ungovernable. It accepts no bridles, no saddles, and no masters. And while some creatures rely on transformation, others stand apart for bodies that simply defy the laws of nature. Number 4. Serpard. Serpards appear in pairs. Each creature has the body of a leopard and an impossibly long serpentine neck. Serpopard, serpent, leopard. The necks intertwine like braided rope when the two beasts face each other. Each head is feline yet stretches high above the body in proportions that defy natural anatomy. In ancient Egyptian and Mesopotamian art, serpapards appear on ceremonial palettes and cylinder seals. Their necks knot together in elaborate patterns, forming circles or figure eights. These are not animals from living nature, but imagined hybrids rendered in royal and ritual imagery. The serpapards combine two forms that do not belong together: the leopard, a symbol of power and danger, and the serpent, a creature of chaos and the uncanny. The stretched necks create a visual impossibility. Predatory bodies joined to an anatomy that feels unreal, dreamlike, and unnatural. Rather than a beast of folklore with any sort of fixed stories, the serpard functions as a symbol. Its intertwined form suggests forces held in tension, wildness bound, opposites entwined, or chaos brought under control. The image itself becomes the impossible ability, a creature designed not to exist, but to represent what cannot be tamed. Their presence on royal objects suggests that they stood for something beyond ordinary predators, a vision of power, duality, and the unnatural world at the edges of order. And in ancient civilizations, these impossible hybrids were not just imagined, some were revered as symbols of divine power. Number 5. Mushussu. This is a dragon with a serpent's body, lion's forelimbs, eagle's talons for rear legs, and a scaled head crowned with horns. The composite anatomy creates something both majestic and unnatural. Each animal component is recognizable, but the combination defies ordinary life. The mushussu appears as a protective creature of Babylon, most famously displayed on the Ishtar Gate in brilliant glazed brick. Its form stood out in deep blue against warm earth tones, towering above those who passed beneath the city walls, radiating divine authority. Its scales gleam with an otherworldly sheen, the forked tongue flickers from its mouth. When imagined in motion, each limb belongs to a different creature's logic: lion strength, raptor talons, and serpentine coils. The result is a being that feels and is impossible, a dragon assembled from contradictions. Multiple gods were associated with it over time. Early traditions link it with deities such as Xiezhi, and later it becomes closely tied to Marduk, the chief god of Babylon. Its shifting divine ownership reflects its status as more than an animal. It's a sacred emblem of power. This image survived millennia. Even now, reconstructed gates display the mushussu in museums, still commanding attention as a symbol of myth made stone. But some mythologies took this idea even further, creating beings made not from just a few animals, but many at the same time. Number 6. Navagunjara. 9 different animals merged into one impossible body: a rooster's head, a peacock's neck, an elephant's front legs, a tiger and a horse for the middle legs, a bull's hump, a serpent's tail, and a human hand holding a lotus. The form totals 9 components in a single being. Navagunjara belongs especially to regional traditions of India, most famously in Odisha, where it appears in devotional and artistic portrayals linked to Vishnu and Krishna. In these accounts, the warrior Arjuna encounters this creature in the forest and freezes. Every instinct screams that this being violates natural law. The parts should not fit together. They should not coexist in one organism. And yet it moves, lives, and breathes. Each animal aspect seems alive, contributing to a single unified presence. The elephant's legs carry weight and force. The serpent's tail coils with menace. The bird and beast forms merge into something beyond ordinary comprehension. Arjuna's trial is not to actually defeat it. The trial is recognition, to witness something fundamentally impossible without fear or rejection. The Navagunjara represents divine nature transcending human categories, existing beyond all comfortable classifications. And finally, the lotus held in a human hand adds another, deeper layer: consciousness within multiplicity, the sacred within the monstrous, and the impossible made divine. And yet, sometimes, these sort of impossible forms did not represent the divine, they stood as terrifying warnings. Number 7. Nue. The head of a monkey, the body of a tanuki raccoon dog with tiger legs and paws, a snake for a tail. This Japanese chimera is associated with storms and ominous clouds, appearing in moments when the sky darkens before lightning. The air feels wrong, and then it arrives. Its cry defines it, a sound described as "hoo, hoo," echoing through the night. The voice seems neither fully animal nor fully natural, but hollow and unsettling. In some accounts, simply hearing it is enough to inspire dread or sickness. One of the most famous tales places the Nue above the imperial palace of Emperor Konoe. The emperor falls mysteriously ill, and night after night, a dark cloud gathers overhead, bringing terror no physician can explain. The creature is said to hide within that darkness. Finally, the archer Minamoto no Yorimasa fires an arrow into the cloud, and it strikes true. The Nue falls, and the emperor's suffering lifts soon after. The Nue became a creature of ill omen, a sign that something unnatural has entered the world. Its body is this collapse of boundaries, monkey, tanuki, tiger, and serpent fused into one contradiction. In that impossible merging, the Nue represents disorder itself, nature corrupted into a single haunting form. But hey, you know what? In some traditions, the most terrifying power isn't physical destruction or anomaly, it's just the ability to see the truth. We've saved my favorite for last. Number 8, xiezhi. A single-horned beast resembling a goat or ox, sometimes described with scales or thick fur. The horn rises from the center of its forehead, aimed forward like a spear. This creature possesses an impossible ability. It's said to be able to recognize deception. Kind of reminds me of a unicorn, but this is no plain unicorn. According to legend, the Minister of Justice Gao Yao used the xiezhi in legal judgments during the time of Emperor Shun. When disputes arose, the creature could distinguish the truth from the falsity. In some accounts, it would strike the guilty with its horn, delivering an immediate judgment no human court could counterfeit. Its image became closely tied to law and authority. Courts displayed it as a symbol, and officials wore emblems or hats shaped in its likeness. The meaning was unmistakable. Justice must see through falsehood, and lies cannot stand before true judgment. The xiezhi was believed to spare the innocent. Someone honest could face it without fear. But the dishonest were exposed, not by evidence or argument, but by a supernatural certainty beyond human corruption. Whether as a creature or emblem, the xiezhi represents an impossible ideal. A world where truth is visible and objective, and justice cannot be deceived. If you're ready to see more myths brought to life, check this one out on your screen for more legendary creatures.